Hello, you guys, and welcome to another episode of my podcast, Things Could Be Worse. I'm your host, baileydedrick, and today I thought it would be fun to get responses directly from you guys again for this episode. So today I decided to ask you all on the Things Could Be Worse pod Instagram account to head over to a Google form that I had linked and let me know all of your deepest, darkest, most juiciest secrets and stories, and basically just give me whatever you want, and I'm going to be reading them and reacting to them and giving my input on those secrets and stories today. And I'm not claiming to come up with this idea at all. Like, so many people do this on their podcasts. I think like Call Her Daddy might have started it like forever ago when it was like still Call Her Daddy, like Sophia and Alex. I just thought it would be fun. I see this all the time and I wanted to do an episode completely dedicated to it just because you guys really enjoyed my girl talk episode, and I think part of the reason you enjoyed it so much is because it was so interactive and I was answering questions that came directly from you guys. And I think that's kind of more interesting than me just coming up with my own stuff to talk about sometimes. So let's get into it. I'm so excited. I have a piece of paper here with like 10 to 15 different confessions / secrets / story times, and I'm just going to go through them. Some of them are long, some of them are short. I literally got like 400 responses and it was so freaking hard to choose and go through all of them. I will say though, I was looking for like a little more juice. Like a lot of these stories, like they were great stories, great secrets, but a lot of them were from like years ago. So it was like stories taking place in like 8th grade or like the beginning of high school. So like they weren't all that juicy in my opinion. But I think I chose like a wide variety of different topics like these like things to go with. So we're just gonna do it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so starting off pretty morbid. I ran over my dog. This is so fun. Okay, I will say like half of the little secrets or stories that were submitted, I truly think were made up. I think that half of you guys are pathological liars and you guys just came up with the wildest, the most crazy things that you could possibly think of. So I didn't really include a lot of like the super crazy ones that I could obviously tell were fake, just because I didn't think that's as fun. Like, yes, they'd be interesting and intriguing, but like I wanted to stick with ones that I felt deep in my soul were actually true, because I feel like that's the point of this. But anyways, number 1 is I ran over my dog with my parents' car and no one knows if it was me still. That's pretty dark. I don't really know what to say. I'm really going to do my best and not be like too judgmental with these because I know that I don't want to be like rude. So I'm going to try to be like open and understanding with all of these, but like, how do you live with yourself? Like, if I ran over my dog, I mean, you probably literally hate that you did that, obviously, and like that like sticks with you every single day. And obviously you didn't mean to. I assume if you meant to, then we have some issues. But I mean, it sucks, and may your dog rest in peace. But at the end of the day, like, your dog is dead and it doesn't really matter who did it. I mean, it was an accident. It could have been the mailman. It could have been a neighbor. It could have been your mom, your dad, or in this case, it was you. I hope your family was able to move on from that. And everyone besides the dog is okay. I'm so sorry that you did that though. That is so traumatic. Some of these, like I said, are shorter, some are longer. There's literal like novels right now, and then there's like sentences. I'm gonna move into one that's like a paragraph long. It says, I accidentally got with my friend's ex-boyfriend on New Year's Eve. You accidentally got with your friend. How do you accidentally get with someone's ex? Girl, you knew what you was doing. What do you mean? I'm gonna move on. I didn't mean to, but they'd been over for a while. ? They were never really that serious, and she wasn't ever my closest friend. I hate that about girl code. Like, yes, obviously, if he's your ex or you used to talk, I wouldn't do it. I respect that, and I wouldn't want anyone to do it to me. But if you date a guy 7 months ago and you were never really that serious, you can't keep getting mad. Question mark, question mark. I hate when girls gatekeep and bullshit like that. Girl code goes both ways. The next weekend, I went to her house because she had a party. She came up to me mad, crying, and drunk, saying that what I did really hurt. Obviously, I started crying because, like, what the fuck? It was this big mess, but by the end of the night, we had ended up clearing the beef, and she drunkenly kissed me on the forehead, saying how much she actually loved me. She still gives me hugs and is all friendly over the phone and in person, but other people tell me how fake she is and what shit she says about me. Not sure what to do here, but I just want to put it all behind. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. It was a little all over the place, and you had some grammar issues here, so I struggled a little bit. No. I think I understand where you're coming from, and I honestly agree with you in the sense that, like, girl code in high school is a little bit crazy just because, like, I mean, when you're in high school, I mean, most of the time I feel like what I've seen is, like, you kind of, like, cycle through friend groups, and, like, a lot of the people that your friends talk to, like, you also talk to at some point, and it's just kind of this, like, I don't know, like, there's only so many people that you can go for. There isn't, like, a ton of options out there. So I kind of get what you're saying. Like, if you guys weren't, like, super, super close friends, like, you didn't really see, like, the huge issue with it. So I don't think you did anything, like, horribly wrong that you need to be, like, guilty about for the rest of your life. But I do understand, like, it is annoying when some sort of issue happens or some sort of beef, and then you sit down with the person and clear the beef, and you explain yourself, and you probably apologized, and you probably showed remorse. And that doesn't mean she has to forgive you, because, like, people are entitled to feel whatever they want towards whoever. But, like, if she seemed like she was cool at the end of that conversation and she had, like, decided that she was going to put it behind her and you guys were going to move on and be able to be friends again, then I completely get where you're coming from, like, being pissed off that she's, like, talking shit and, like, just, like, spreading shit about you behind the scenes, because that's just, like, rude. It's not nice. It's dramatic. And I don't really know what to do here. I think that if you really care about this girl, which, I mean, I honestly don't really feel like you do, because if you did actually care about her, you probably wouldn't get with her ex-boyfriend, and you also probably wouldn't just, like, I don't know, I feel like this would have been worded different if, like, you really cared about this girl. So I would say, honestly, like, you've done all that you could do. I mean, I assume you've, like, apologized and whatever. And I would say, just, like, if she can't get over it and she can't move on from it and she's still caught up, maybe have, like, one more conversation with her and just talk about, like, the stuff you've been hearing her say behind your back. And if she continues to act this way, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of hard to continue on a friendship when there's some sort of, like, tension like that built up. So I don't know, I'm sorry that you're going through this. Obviously, you're not completely in the right here because you did hook up with her ex-boyfriend. But I do understand how complicated, like, girl code and stuff like that can be. I mean, I assume this is in high school. I don't know. I was just referring to high school earlier, but you never actually said how old how old you were when this happened. But I assume high school, probably, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I get how confusing, like, girl code and, like, complicated things can get. But honestly, girl, just move on. I don't know. I don't really see what else you can do, basically. I don't know. Okay, next one, we're gonna move on to a short one. I think I'm gonna do, like, short, long, just because I can't read very well, and I need to give myself a little break. I walked in on my stepbrother and my sister kissing and immediately walked out. I don't know what to do, Bailey. Ooh, okay. So this is another one that I read and I was like, okay, so maybe they're lying just because this is a super easy generic confession to just come up with. But also part of me believes that it's true just because, like, I've heard stories in my own town of some weird, like, step-sibling shit going on, and I hate it. Like, I just do not understand how you can possibly do that. Like, I get it. Like, you're not related by blood, but just morally, ethically, that's just not something that you do. You know what I mean? Like, that's something you need to hold back on. You can't just give into those urges. I feel so bad for you that you had to witness that. And I feel even worse for you that you have to like decide what to do with this information. Because like obviously if you go like tell your parents, then it's going to be like a huge like what the fuck. But I don't know. I would honestly maybe just talk to your sister about it if you haven't already, or just take that information, lock it deep in your soul, and just never talk about it or think about it again, because I don't know, I wouldn't want to think about that anymore than I absolutely have to. Okay, this one says, I've been dating this guy for almost 2 years and he truly is the sweetest person ever. He is so good to me and I do love him, but for the past couple of months, things just haven't felt right between us. I met this new guy in one of my classes and I've been hanging out with him. Not cheating or anything like that, but I am starting to feel like I like him. What do I do? Okay, so I feel like you low-key kind of answered your own question, because you clearly think that your boyfriend is a very sweet, loving, amazing person, and I assume you wouldn't want to hurt him in any way, and I assume that's why you're so like hesitant about this, because you know he's a good guy and you feel like maybe you should want to be with him and like you should love it. Like, I know what you mean, and I know what you're probably like thinking and like the thoughts that are going through your head. But all I have to say is you have two options here, and you need to choose pretty quickly, just because it isn't fair to your boyfriend to keep having these thoughts without having a conversation at least. So I would say either stop entertaining this guy that you met in one of your classes, because that is not right. I hate to be this girl. Like, I get it. Like, shit happens and like things are different in every relationship. But like at the end of the day, you probably know that it's not right that you're kind of entertaining this other guy. And I encourage you to either stop that or have the difficult conversation with your boyfriend and just say how you've been feeling. But also, with that being said, when you're in like a long-term relationship, like I've been in a pretty long-term relationship, I would say 2 years is pretty long. I don't know. It's not like very long, but I mean, you kind of get past like the quote unquote honeymoon phase or whatever it's called. So if you're in a relationship that long, things aren't always going to be like super solid. In a relationship, there's ups and downs, there's good days, there's bad days, and not everything is like rainbows and butterflies all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always this like crazy, passionate, loving feeling that you had in the beginning. Being in a happy, healthy, long-term relationship has to do with so much more than just love. Like, you need commitment, you need loyalty, you need trust, you need communication, you just need commitment. Like, you need conversation. Like, it isn't just about love. Like, just because you love somebody, it doesn't mean it's gonna work out. Just because they love you doesn't mean it's gonna work out. I saw this quote on Instagram the other day, and it was saying like, real true love is loving somebody even when you feel like you don't want to, or loving someone when it was something along the lines of that. And basically how I interpreted that is like, some days things are going to be hard. Some days you might not wake up with that intense, passionate feeling of love towards the other person, but love, like true love, is pushing past that feeling and deciding and choosing to love them regardless. So you really have two options here. You can have a conversation, you guys can talk this out, you can explain how you've been feeling, and you can continue to choose to love your boyfriend, or you need to cut it off and let him down, hopefully pretty easily, because I feel bad for him, low-key. But yeah, you just have to do one of the two. You can't just like keep dragging him on and not being clear with your feelings, because at the end of the day, that's not very fair to your boyfriend. Like, your boyfriend might think that you guys are like good. I mean, he probably feels also that there's something off, but like he can't read your mind, and you don't want to just keep dragging this situation on, because you really can't get past it if you don't talk about it. So either make the decision, break up, or work on it. You know what I mean? You can't keep doing this. Okay, this next one is also pretty morbid. I broke my friend's urn, parentheses, that held the ashes of her grandmother, parentheses, while I was pet sitting, and I blamed it on the dogs. She still doesn't know to this day. This is another thing kind of with the dog in the beginning. Point is, it happened. It's important to own up to your mistakes, and it is important to take accountability in life. But with something like this, I don't know that I could look my best friend in the eyes and be like, I shattered your grandmother's ashes all over the living room. Like, I don't think that I can do that. So I think that, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you did something that is completely off the path that most people would go with. I don't know, that's a really tough thing, and I'm sorry that you had to deal with that again. That is tough. But I don't know. That's kind of crazy. The dogs can take the blame for that one. If I broke, oh my God, yeah, I don't think I would be able to own up to that either. I think I would feel guilty about it for the rest of my life, and I don't think that I would ever be able to tell anybody that it was me, which maybe isn't a good thing. Maybe other people listening to this are like listening to us and like whatever, just saying that, and it's like, how would you not be able to be honest? Like whatever, but that is such a hard thing to be honest about. I don't know. I don't really have much else to say on that besides I'm sorry that you are having to hold on to that and that you did that, and I hope you can move on from that someday. Okay, let's move on to another longer one just because I feel like the last couple have been short. This says, this was last summer. Okay, so I had a crush on my cousin's boyfriend, and when we went on a beach vacation, she brought him with us there. So obviously I had to make a move. Oh! Wait, what? That's the beginning of it? Obviously, you have to make a move. What do you mean, obviously, you have to make a move? You don't have to make a move. What the fuck? Okay, you didn't have to make a move, but I get it, girl. Okay. Keep in mind, he's 18 and I'm 15. Okay, so number 2 of what's wrong with this. Like, what? Okay, so we drove there, and it was a 10-hour drive from where I love to live in Florida, love to go, maybe. I don't know. The grammar isn't perfect, but we're going to continue to try to decipher this. My mom's van was full, so I rode in the car with my cousin and her boyfriend. His name is, okay, I'm not going to say his name because if someone's listening to this, girl, you don't want to get caught. Literally the whole time I was dropping hints to him, but trying to be subtle so my cousin wouldn't notice. When we got to the beach house, it was chill until that night. He literally snuck into my room, and I was hesitant at first, but then we hooked up. Okay. And every night of the vacation, we did the same thing. I have not told anyone since, and I also haven't seen him since, but he is still dating my cousin, and I am terrified of seeing them again. Oh, girly. I'm still confused about why you felt obligated to make your move on your cousin's boyfriend. Maybe I'm missing part of the story. That's kind of crazy. I really don't have much to say. Wow. Technically, it was illegal, so I don't want to say too much about it just because you were 15. Hate to break it to you, isn't that great. I get it happens, and I'm going to start sounding like I'm going to get canceled. Okay, I'm not trying to encourage statutory situations here at all. It's not okay. Okay, 15, 18, not a good age difference. With that being said, I really don't have anything else to say. Okay, moving on. One time, me and a boy were at this outdoor mini golf course with a stray cat. Wait, what? Whoa. Okay, I kind of just read, you know how you sometimes are reading and your eyes accidentally go too fast for your brain and you see something before you're meant to see it? This one might be the darkest one yet. Okay, one time, me and a boy were at this outdoor mini golf course when a stray cat ran by and messed up his ball. He grabbed the poor cat and completely strangled it until it died. This is really, really a hard read. I ran away screaming, and I broke up with him right after that, and he would not leave me alone. He said I was told to do that, so it wasn't real. That sounds like some serious mental things going on there. I had to get a restraining order against him. Now I am pretty sure he is in a mental hospital. Whew. Okay, that sounds like the beginning of every single serial killer documentary. It's when he was a kid, he was very violent towards animals. That guy might be a serial killer, but I'm really glad he seems, you think he's getting the help that he needs. That is really freaking traumatic though, and I am so sorry that you had to witness that and go through that. That is actually terrifying. If I watched my boyfriend do that, I would literally not be able to go on. That is not something that is okay. I'm so sorry. I'm finding that I really don't have a lot to say to all of these. I'm just kind of left speechless. So sorry about that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I've stolen $2,000 worth of products from Sephora. Honestly, I feel like you are not alone. There is so many people that steal. I'm not encouraging it at all because, I mean, you can actually get in like a ton of trouble, and a lot of stores will like monitor you stealing and like keep track of what you're stealing, even though they're not like actually catching you. They're like able to tell, like most associates when they're working can tell when someone's stealing, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but most people know, and they're just like choosing not to come up to you, or like company policies like go against that, or like there's some like weird like process that has to happen when you catch someone shoplifting. But I would say stop, just because you don't want to have to end up with like a felony. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Makeup's expensive. You might feel like a rush. You might feel like you're living on the edge. But like at the end of the day, it's probably not worth it, because you can actually get really, really fucked for that. But I do know so many girls that steal like makeup from places. And I don't know. I don't think you're a bad person at all. Like, especially if you're stealing from Sephora, like that is a huge corporation that has trillions of dollars. So I don't think you're like morally wrong, honestly. I don't know if that's bad to say, but I would very much encourage you to stop, just because I don't want to see you get in trouble, and I don't want this to be something that you have to like spend dealing with for the rest of your life, or like for the next couple of years, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't want you to go to prison. I've been having benefits with my friend's boyfriend, and I didn't know he was her boyfriend until yesterday. That is tough. That is definitely a tough one. I blame the guy for not like letting any of you know what's going, like I feel like the guy probably knows that you guys are friends, and it's completely his fault that he proceeded with those actions. So I mean, maybe have a conversation about it, just so it doesn't come up later and like make things super awkward. But that's definitely a tough one too. Okay, the next one is crazy. You guys are crazy. I once walked in on my dad cheating on my mom, and obviously immediately left because I didn't want to see that. Yes, obviously. Later he came to my room and like begged me not to tell my mom, and then I kind of blackmailed him for a couple of weeks, getting a bunch of clothes and stuff that I wanted, because he's an asshole, so I might as well get something out of it. Period. As you should. As you should. You definitely did the right thing. But did you tell your... Okay, wait, let me just read the rest. Then I told my mom because she deserved to know after getting all this stuff, and my mom and I live happily without him now. Honestly, you guys won. I hate shitty dudes. I mean, girls can be shitty, girls can cheat. I don't mean to like shit on your dad, but I mean, honestly, like, he might not be a terrible person, but what he did was terrible, type of thing. And I'm glad that your mom and you discovered it and it didn't like continue going on, because obviously that's incredibly like traumatic to go through, and that's super, super shitty. Like, I'm very sorry that you had to deal with that, but it's honestly better that you guys found out, so that, you know, you're not living this like fake reality and him like keeping secrets from you guys. And I'm sorry for your mom, but I'm also really happy that you blackmailed him, because duh, what else? There's no other option. And then I'm also glad that you told your mom. Point is, I don't know if any of my, like, what I just said came out the right way. I'm not trying to say, like, I don't want to be insensitive, but I do understand that that was a very hard situation probably. But, like, the way that you wrote it seems like you're not too bothered anymore, like you've been able to move on. Okay, the next one is so long, and I literally do not think I can read it because I'm illiterate, but let's get into it. I cheated on my ex with his twin brother. Okay, that's crazy. But just hear me out. Okay, I'll hear you out. I will hear you out the best that I can. My boyfriend at the time texted me before he went to bed and said, "Hey, let's go out tomorrow. We should get dinner and see a movie." Sounded great, so I replied with, "Okay, sounds great." The next day I got ready and did my thing while he did his. I asked him what time he was going to pick me up, and he said 9:30, which was good. He pulled up to my house in his brother's car. I got in and said, "Why are you taking your brother's car?" In parentheses, by the way, I couldn't tell them apart because I saw his brother little to never. He replied, "Oh, my car has a flat tire and I'm going to get it fixed tomorrow." I ignored it, and when we got to the restaurant, we ordered and he got something on the menu that him and I both knew he hated. which I thought was weird. I didn't confront him because he told me before that he hates when I judge him on his food choices. Honestly, same. I bully my boyfriend all the time for being like picky. He isn't even picky. He just doesn't like stuff that I like. Like, he hates ketchup. I love ketchup. So I'll just like clown on him all the time for like stupid shit like that. But I think he does get actually bothered. So I relate to you on that part. Had to just throw in my little personal experience there. We talked and had a good conversation. Then we went and saw the movie and left. I asked if we could stay at my place that night because I didn't want to be in the same house as his brother because I just wanted to respect his privacy. We kissed. He kissed me. Oh, God. He kissed me and asked to fuck. I was uncomfortable in the moment because my boyfriend would never ask. We would just do it. And then asked him if he was okay because he didn't seem like himself. He then responded with, yeah, I'm fine. And we proceeded to do it. We went to sleep and I woke up to my boyfriend and his brother fighting. I was so confused. I yelled at who I thought was my boyfriend's brother to get the F out of my house. And then that was when my boyfriend and his brother told me that his brother set me up and practically forced me to do all of those things with him. I broke up with my boyfriend, apologized profusely, and cut off all contact with him and his family. I never told any of my family the real reason we broke up, and I have kept this to myself for what feels like forever. That was so long, and I'm so sorry I kept stumbling over my words, but I just need to know how you couldn't tell. Okay, maybe they look exactly the same. I get that. But are their voices actually identical? Are their mannerisms? Like, how could you not tell that wasn't your boyfriend? This is one where I kind of feel like is made up because how do you not know? I mean, maybe you guys haven't been dating like that long. I don't know. That's incredibly fucked up if it's true. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Who does that? I don't know, but I low-key don't believe you though. Because like, how do you not know that that's not your boyfriend? And you said you don't see his brother a lot, but then you said that like his brother lives at his house and like you want to respect his brother. So like you clearly sometimes do go to his house and say, I don't know, girl. This seems a little bit fishy, but if it's not, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you went through that. Because what? Who does, like, that is literally like scary. Who just like lie? Oh, I hate that. I literally hate that. How do you, I don't know, in like, is their dicks the same size? Like, is everything exactly identical? Because like, if somebody else was, you can tell, especially when you're having, you know what I mean? Like if somebody's, I don't know, this is very hard to believe, but honestly, very interesting. And if this is true, then I am very glad that you submitted this. And I hope that you can move on from this because I feel like I would have serious trust issues for the rest of my life if something like this happened to me. Okay, moving on. I go to a Catholic church and there is a young priest there. You can tell he's got a nice tone. When I copied and pasted these onto this little doc that I printed off here, I read only like the first sentence and I decided if it was interesting or not. So like these long paragraph ones, I haven't like read, you know what I mean? Like this is a first impression and I am appalled already. You can tell he's got nice toned muscles through his robes. This feels so wrong. This feels so wrong to read. He is so hot and all the girls joke about him. He's celibate and is not allowed to do any sort of romantic activity. Yeah, because he's a young priest. Well, one day I was at confession and it was at night. So it was just us and the lady who manages activity. I was sitting through the screen telling him my sins. And well, we fucked. There is no way that you didn't get this out of a smut romance novel. Like there is no way. Y'all just fucked? What do you mean you just fucked? And well, we fucked. Okay, what? At the church. Yep, okay. It's getting hard to breathe in here. Since then, we have done this after many youth groups and services. Oh my gosh. The first time he was so stressed and said that the devil overtook him. Girl, you got me shaking in my boots right now. The devil overtook him. Jesus. But he seems to enjoy our little affair. Oh, he also tied me with... No, because I literally can't read this without laughing every 2 seconds. What is this? What is this? Have you talked to anybody about this? This is funny. This is really funny. Okay, let me read that last sentence because I keep laughing. It says, oh, he also tied me with a rosemary once in his office. LOL. He tied you up with rose. A young priest is... Girl, I give up. I give up. I give up. I literally don't know what to say. That is, I mean... so interesting. Like, if that is true and you really are living your life like that, I am proud of you. Like, I get that might be like morally wrong, religiously wrong. I'm not like an overly religious person. So I don't know how bad it is to say that I encourage that behavior. But like, that is so funny. That is so fun. You're literally living in a romance novel based in a church. I don't know. It's weird, but it's funny. Yeah, I literally have nothing to say to that besides just wow. Yeah, just wow. I have a huge crush on my best friend's older brother. It's really hard because I've known her since I was 7 years old, and I've always been super close with her entire family. Me and her brother used to hate each other, but in the last year or so, since we're getting older, we always seem to be flirting, and there's even been a few times where we're alone and he kind of seems to be making a move. I don't know what to do. I wouldn't want to ruin me and my best friend's relationship, but I seriously feel like I really like this dude. That is tough. That is so tough because I've never been in this situation. Most of my like girlfriends don't have brothers. Actually, that's not true. I don't know. I've never liked one of my best friend's siblings, but I can see where this could be really freaking difficult to deal with because I mean, you can't help your feelings. Like, y'all know Selena's song, The Heart Wants What It Wants. You can't really control your feelings and you can't dictate who you like or who you don't like. So, this is really difficult. Yes, it is. I would say you have to do your best to push those feelings away, push it away, because honestly, it's probably just something exciting and new and like a secret. So you feel like it's like fun and interesting, and it's probably something that you guys both know is wrong and you both feel is wrong, but that's what makes you want to do it more. So I would say if you really don't want to mess up you and your best friend's relationship, which I would say most people probably wouldn't be okay with their best friend hooking up with their brother. I definitely wouldn't necessarily love it, but I would try your hardest to just like push this feeling away, push these urges and just like resist this, because at the end of the day, like, you don't want to risk ruining your friendship with your best friend over this, unless it is like you guys really like each other, which at this point I don't think you know that or not yet. I would say leave it alone for a little bit. If you keep finding yourself feeling these things and like you guys maybe start like talking more, or it like progresses sorry about that voice crack, or if it like progresses past this like little flirty like behavior, if it actually turns into something and you want it to, and like you actually feel like it could be something, maybe have a conversation with your friend about it, but also at the same time, like, that might not go well. So my first suggestion would be to push all feelings and urges aside, because it probably won't end well. Okay, I think I have one more written down here on this piece of paper, and I've been putting this one off because I don't want to read it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to look at it. When I was 12 years old, I found my mom's dildo. I just don't want to put any image of any of this in my head. I found my mom's dildo in her room and used it. Like, that puts me in my grave. Why would you use it? Why would you use that? I get you're 12, you're curious, you're learning about your body, you find something interesting. Do not put your mom's dildo inside of you. What? How can you do that? How? I'm, again, not trying to judge you. We've all made mistakes, but actually, how did you think that was okay? I mean, I guess it's not like not okay. Like, there's nothing super wrong with that. I mean, obviously, like, if you cleaned it, which you probably didn't. But I mean, I'm not saying your mom's got like STDs. All I'm saying is, how do you do that? Not even just for the aspect of what, like, how? How do you do that? Like, how do you feel comfortable doing that? That's literally sharing coochie. Okay. Nope. I can't talk about it. I keep thinking about like if this was no, I literally can't. I literally can't think about it. I can't do it. No, I'm done. That's all of like the secrets / confessions / stories that I have saved and like written down for me to talk about today. It honestly didn't last as long as I thought it was. I thought I had enough. I obviously could continue talking for a little bit longer, but I'm going to cut this episode off now just because me and my boyfriend have plans and I've already been making him wait. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If this was something that you found fun, I will definitely do it again. Like I said, I got like 400 responses on the Google form for this episode, and I will 100% go back to that and read more of them or collect more of them if you guys are interested in this. I had a lot of fun. I mean, it was really easy for me. Like, this was a super easy episode, so I appreciate it. Like, I think it was great. All I had to do was like read it and react. Let me know if you enjoy this. I'll leave a poll if you're listening on Spotify. Spotify offers like the option to do like polls and like ask questions. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, go like scroll underneath where you're listening to this and there should be a poll, and let me know if you liked this type of episode or not, because I'm curious. You know what I mean? I love getting your feedback because this is honestly, the podcast is for me and it's literally like my therapy session every week. But at the same time, like this podcast is ultimately for you guys, and I want to cater to you guys, and I want to put out content that you actually enjoy listening to. So let me know. I don't know. I had like a really rough day today, you guys. I literally like was up till 4:30 a.m. Something kind of traumatic was happening in the nighttime, and I literally can't talk about it. Like, I'm not allowed to talk about it, I don't think, because like I don't think you're supposed to talk about stuff like this online. But something's going on, and I was up till 4:30 a.m. kind of freaking out. And I woke up this morning. I had a nail appointment at, I think, like 12. I had a nail appointment, so I woke up at like 10:30, and I was gonna try to get a quick workout in. We have like dumbbells and like a few workout machine equipment things in the basement, and I usually go to the gym to work out, but I was like, let me just get in like a quick back and bicep workout downstairs. And so I woke up, I tried to do it, but I couldn't get out of bed. I was so exhausted. So I just kind of laid in bed until I had to get up, shower, and go to my nail appointment. And then when I got back from my nail appointment, I literally went to bed from like 2 p.m. until almost 4, which I meant to take like a 30-minute nap. When I tell you I was in like the deepest slumber I have had in so long, those like mid-afternoon naps hit so hard. And like I had been awake for like 2 hours before I took that like long ass nap. So like that's not necessarily good at all. Like I literally wasted my whole day and I had so much to do today. But I was having crazy dreams. The whole premise of my dream was that I could fly, I guess. I mean, I really forgot most of it now. But all I remember is the fact that I could fly and that I got arrested in Mexico because I could fly. And it was like the government in Mexico was after me because I like unlocked this like skill on how to fly as a human. And they arrested me and they put me in this prison, but the prison was all outside. So I got like locked up, and I had, instead of handcuffs, I had these like electric like shock wristbands, like where the handcuffs would go. So like, you know how there's like dog collars, like shock collars? They were like shocking my wrist, and I could like literally feel it in my dream. But I ended up getting these little shock collars off for like the electric fence that they have. And then I just flew out because it was an outside prison. Like, who puts someone in prison for being able to fly and then just like gives them the opportunity to just fly out of prison? I don't know, crazy dream. I woke up so confused. But flying was really cool, and I recommend dreaming about that because it literally like felt like I was flying, and I've never experienced that before. So definitely recommend, put that in your next dream. I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and then I'm going to hang out with my boyfriend. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Oh guys, please rate the pod and review the pod because it really, really helps me. I try not to say this like over the top. Like I try not to say this too much because I know it gets repetitive and I know it gets annoying. But rating the pod and following and subscribing and doing all of that really, really helps me. I know it might not seem like a big deal to you, and it's like, okay, like I don't need to follow this or I don't need to rate that, but like it really helps me and I would really appreciate it. So if you could do those things, okay? I love you and I will see you. My voice cracks so much. I'm literally like a 14-year-old boy. I hate it. I don't understand why that happens. But yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. I love you. Oh, I ended it with a kiss this time. Okay. Things are okay. I'm leaving. Bye.